Current plans for a new regional landfill may be garbage due to a drastic spike in the project's cost. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, during Tuesday evening's Scottsbluff City Council meeting, Interim City Manager Kevin Spencer provided the council with an update on the proposed landfill project in southern Sioux County. Spencer says the good news is that the application for the landfill permit is 93% completed, but did note that the remaining 7% is still a lot of work. The bad news is that the cost of the project has increased immensely over the past 8 months.
Because of those rising costs, we may have to consider some alternatives.
Okay.
It might not be feasible to do this right now.
Spencer says there is still 3 years of expected life in the Gering landfill, and Scottsbluff does have a new transfer station budgeted. He says that the project developer, Tri-Hydro's, expected tipping fees per ton is more than double what Scottsbluff is currently paying to use Gering's landfill, and as it stands, those costs would have to be passed on to residents. Councilmember Nathan Green said a new landfill could cost even more down the road, while others agreed it would be wise to at least look at other options as the application permit nears completion. Well, in an effort to provide as much information to the public as possible, the Alliance Police Department has added a data dashboard to their website, giving details on dates, locations, and types of criminal activity. Chief Phil Lukin says eventually the information will update in real time as residents and business owners want to know what's happening in their neighborhood.
We do have neighborhood meetings about quarterly, but that's not enough. And so we need people to have the ability at their fingertips, just like we're all used to being able to Google a question. When they want to know something, that they can at their fingertips look it up on the police department website and find out. Where are the thefts happening? Where are the burglaries? How many thefts have happened in our neighborhood? And so this will really help them to know exactly what's going on.
The dashboard also includes historical data to provide a way to compare crime rates and trends, as well as maps and other information. Chief Lukin says reaction has been positive about the dashboard, which he says is one of many efforts in the department to increase transparency and accountability. We'll have more news right after this.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Life Care promises us that we are looked after and taken care of properly.
If I didn't have Life Care, I would be probably scared to death about having enough money for when I got older or when I got sick.
Moving in here was an easy decision and in fact a no-brainer. I looked at it as actually buying long-term care insurance and in retrospect a good move.
One of the things that convinces me that we did the right thing is no matter what happens, we will constantly be taken care of.
The whole thing is just vital because you don't have to be worried about what's ahead for you. It's there, it's in black and white, and that's reassuring.
This is home. It has been from the day I moved in.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
Welcome back. A Scottsbluff man accused of selling 40 grams of methamphetamine during 2 controlled Wing Drug Task Force buys has been arraigned in district court. 39-year-old Chad Worth has entered not guilty pleas on 2 Class 1D felony charges of possession of meth between 10 and 27 grams. Court records say that in November of 2020, Worth sold $1,400 worth of meth, totaling more than 2 ounces during 2 controlled buys. District Judge Andrea Miller accepted the not guilty pleas and set a pretrial hearing for the case on October 19th. Well, Oregon Trail Days is in full swing, and that means there might be more people participating in the revelry. Safe Rides OTD is now in its 10th year and will be headquartered at the Monument Inn and Suites. On Friday and Saturday nights, a full cavalry of volunteer designated drivers will be available to give anybody and everybody a sober ride home. Organizer Lisa Betts Marquez says there has been some misconceptions about this program.
You know, over the years, we've had people not quite understand what we're doing and misunderstand it, you know, that we're encouraging people to drink and not be responsible. But we've given rides to people from out of town who, you know, just felt like it was time to go home and they were going to be the D&D for their friends, but they just didn't want to stay. And we've been able to do a lot of nice things that had nothing to do with people who were drinking. And so for us, it's just a great way to let the community know that we care about them.
Safe Rides OTD's number is 633-6397 and runs nightly from 10 until 1:30 a.m. That number again, go ahead and save it in your phone, is 308-633-6397. And 19 recruits have started their journey to become Nebraska State Troopers. The recruits will train for the next 6 months at the NSP Training Academy to earn the title of Trooper. Superintendent Colonel John Bolduc told the recruits the importance of the career they are beginning to embark on.
You want to be part of the solution when our communities are in chaos, when people are suffering, when people have been victimized. You're going to be that calm, steady hand that has the competence, the intelligence, and the courage to solve that problem. That's why you're here.
The recruits come from 5 states, including several different communities across Nebraska. Nebraska State Patrol recruits undergo 22 weeks of training, featuring a rigorous academic program and hands-on scenarios to prepare them for a career as a trooper. Once the recruits graduate as troopers, they continue with an additional 800 hours of field training paired with veteran troopers throughout the state. Well, still to come, lots happening on your weekend community calendar. KNEB.TV News will be back right after this.
I really like how our OB department takes our limited amount of doctors and turns it into a strength. Even though we only have a couple of people, you get to know them well over your entire pregnancy. We have 2 state-of-the-art labor rooms that are new with our last addition. We have a couple of very nice postpartum rooms also right here in the hospital, so they can get as much time with mom and baby as possible.
Logos in Gearing is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gearing.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
Welcome to Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the great big small bank. We're in central Nebraska, north of Bertrand, once again on Peterson and Sons Farms, talking with Creighton Peterson. And Creighton, it's been a couple weeks since our last conversation. We had some moisture, now it's turned back hot once again. How are the crops looking since we last talked?
Well, Clay, everything under pivot is looking really good. I guess stuff on the north side of the river that we have got hit with hail and it got dinged pretty good. We actually had to replant a quarter of beans. Corn got dinged pretty hard. It's starting to come out of it. Everything on the south side of the river, it's all looking really well. Our stuff with gravity irrigate had a lot of heat stress, but everything under pivot's looking really well.
So the field we're actually currently standing in here, this one under a pivot, so it's gotten that good moisture treatment as well. This corn has really taken off. What's your plan here? Are you thinking wet corn for this field?
Yep, this whole field will be wet corn, so we'll pull it out middle of September to the end of September and take it to the feed yard.
There we go, going back into the feed yard. Now, you talked about it getting some hail back in through there. When you face a situation like that, was there any thought of, are we at a timeline when we don't want to replant, or with where prices where they're at, it was, nope, we're going full bore, we're replanting?
As early as the hail came, and with it being on beans, we just threw a short season bean out there. It ended up totaling 3/4 of the field to nothing. And so we ended up replanting most all of it to a short season bean and are going to cut it for beans late.
Wow, glad to hear, though, you had time to be able to get it back in, and we hope now maybe Mother Nature will cooperate. Unfortunately, it looks like these long-ranging forecasts continue to show us being back to that hot and dry condition. Does that pose any concern to you right now, or where you've got irrigation, are you feeling comfortable?
Feeling better now, having all our gravity irrigated stuff out and starting to get water on that. It's starting to look a little bit better. Pivot stuff is looking very well, but I think we're going to have troubles getting water through on our gravity flow, but I think we're sitting pretty good overall.
When we talked last time, of course, part of it going towards some of those bigger yields as you've won contests in the past, but you said, that was a decision for a little bit later down the road. Like this field right behind us, it is looking really solid. It's on point, it's growing well, low weed pressure, things are looking good. Is this one that you're thinking? Are you thinking about some of these riper fields, maybe pushing it, or is it still a question?
I think like this field we're at now, I think we'll push it as of now, but hopefully we can miss the hail and wind in July and be doing good. But as of now, I think we'll probably push it and see.
So let's talk about the farming aspect in and of itself. You're a young farmer just coming back into the family operation. Your dad's and your brother currently working together. What are some of the things, if you were going to recommend somebody else just coming back into a family operation, what are some things to think about or consider to make it work for the best?
We get together every morning and communicate on what we're going to get done for the day. Try to have everyone have a plan on what they're going to do and set things forward. And then we get together for lunch usually and talk about everything we got done and what still needs done on the day, and basically just communicating and talking to each other quite a bit a day. So,
Creighton, it's going to be a couple more weeks before we talk again. What are some things that you're going to be working on in between there? What are some things you're going to be watching out for?
Keeping the water going, starting fertigation. We have about our first round of fertigations on right now. Finish up fertigation, keep water going, and that'll pretty much be it, trying to avoid the storms.
Yeah, we're talking with Creighton Peterson here north of Bertrand, Nebraska for Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the great big small bank.
let's take a peek at what's happening on your weekend community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, one Nebraska teen is stepping up to help make 4-H more accessible to all. Rural Radio Network's Bryce Duskett has that story.
As we gear up for county fair season across Nebraska, we are shining a light on some outstanding 4-H members. Today, I'd like to introduce you to Allison Walbreck. Allison grew up on a cattle operation near the capital city in Lancaster County. Each year, she and her family show livestock around the country. While doing so, Allison tells us she observed a gap between agriculture and people with disabilities. She had an idea that sparked after she joined her high school unified bowling team.
So that is a team that pairs students of all ability levels to go do different activities. I absolutely fell in love with that, but quickly realized that bowling was not my specialty and was not my forte. So I tried to find something that I could combine my passions in.
And she did just that. Allison started Unified Showing, pairing special needs youth with an experienced livestock handler known as their buddy. It started when she was just 15 years old, and she paired 3 groups together at the Lancaster County Fair.
And then as we moved to our second year, we got 9 participants, 9 different buddies and 9 showmen as well. So we were able to branch out into Otoe County as well and reach a larger audience. we just got so much great success from that. We got so much feedback from everybody saying they loved it. And we were really able to see as everybody was able to fall in love with their lamb and what we were doing.
Right now, Allison says they use lambs as they're a bit easier to move around the show ring.
As we look towards our future, we're really excited to hopefully one day branch out into every species.
Allison has been recognized with the Nebraska 4-H Gives Back Award for her work on unified showing. Later this fall, she tells us she'll be attending the University of Nebraska-Lincoln to study animal science. That is today's Agriculture News Update. I'm Bryce Duskett reporting.
Thanks, Bryce. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a safe OT Days weekend, and we will see you back here on Monday.